Why Nyewasco has remained at the top for 12 years running.
Nyewasco water, that's the only water that you can just take a cup and go to the tap. Take that water, you don't require to boil that water.
We keep testing it after every 2 hours. We check for chlorine, we have got the rates. We test for pH, we test for turbidity.
We have been able to achieve awards each and every year. We have emerged the best WSP in the country for the last 12 years in a row.
Kihasol 50 yako uko na maji ya kutumia for a long time.
Walitusaidia na choo na tukajengewa kila plot choo mbili. Sasa huwa tunazitumia na huwa zinatusaidia sana.
The Nyeri Water and Sanitation Company Limited, Nyewasco, was incorporated on 23rd September 1997 under the Kenya Companies Act Chapter 486 and commenced operations in July 1998. For the past 23 years, Nyewasco has prided herself in being the best water and sewerage provider, not only locally but also globally, with the slogan, "For quality water," being the driving force over the years. The company has remained committed to its core values, which include customer service, ownership, environmental consciousness in ensuring that it provides an uninterrupted water and sewerage service to her over 160,000 customers and over 40,000 connections. The company attributes her continued success to the immense support from the County Government of Nyeri under the stewardship of His Excellency Governor Mutahi Kahiga. In addition, Acting Managing Director Engineer Peter Kahuthu noted that Nyewasco's exemplary performance can be traced back to the good leadership by the late MD CPA Peter Gichaaga, who grew the company to greater heights jointly with the Board of Directors, as well as its members of staff who were well acquainted with their responsibilities for efficiency and effectiveness.
He came in when the company was performing very well, and he had a very big challenge to maintain the performance, and through teamwork, or through with a very formidable team, management team, staff in general, and support from both the Board of Directors and County Government, he has been able to achieve even more. He sustained performance and equally exceeded where the company was there by then. And for us, we boast, or rather we pride in due to the support we received from the County Government of Nyeri, and especially even our current governor, Honorable Mutahi Kahiga, has been very categorical. Even in all the sessions we normally have, whether we are there or we are not there, they have given us the full mandate to offer services to the people of Nyeri, and without any interference, any support, and especially for the projects we have always developed proposals for, or even when we look for finances, we always get the blessings through the relevant county government department, that is Department of Water and Irrigation Services. That is one of the reasons why we say Nyewasco is shining, because we have that support from the County Government of Nyeri.
The board chair, Patrick Karinga, noted that the board has drawn members from different expertise who ensure that Nyewasco's services run smoothly.
Anything to do with the board, it is composed of various professionals. And that's why I would say that when it comes to working with the company, so many of us have different, they have actually supported the company because of the various experiences from different sectors.
He further thanked the governor for fully supporting the company in delivering its mandate to the customers.
And wish to congratulate our governor, Honorable Edward Mutahi Kahiga, because instead of bringing politics, what he does, he brings a lot of support. We always get 100% support from the county government.
Nyewasco has also embraced new technologies that have eased their customer care services, billing and payments, as well as reduced on their wastages, for instance, maintaining their non-revenue water at 15%. For the past 12 years, Nyewasco has scooped the first position for being the best water service provider in the country and has been recognized globally for exemplary work performance, having been awarded the Water Leaders Award during the Global Water Awards 2020. The company has also won other awards, for instance, in the sports category during the 9th edition of the WSP Water Service Providers Games. It emerged third position, and in the year 2016, it scooped the MAPI Award related to good governance and best practices. Following this, the company has become one to reckon with, being the envy and benchmarking tool for both local and foreign water service providers such as Nigerian and Malawian governments. Nyewasco sources her water from River Chania, which is extracted at Ihwa plant in Kamakwa, Nyeri Central Sub-County. Water then flows through gravity to the water treatment plant located at Kamakwa. According to the officer in charge of water production, Paul Michuki, water goes through major 7 steps before being distributed to the customers. In the first stage, water goes through core and fine screening to remove water impurities.
In water production, we have got 7 major steps which take place. The first one happens as the intake works, where you have screens. We have got both coarse screens and fine screens to make sure that none of the floating matter in rivers get into our water treatment.
Secondly, testing is done to determine the amount of chemicals to be dosed in the water, after which aluminium sulfate is added through a process known as coagulation.
When the water gets here, we have got a test that we do, which determines the amount of chemicals that we are going to dose into that water, and the process is called coagulation. Coagulation is addition of aluminium sulfate into that water.
During the third step, water and aluminium sulfate are mixed evenly through the flocculation system and later goes through a sedimentation process whereby particles coagulated settle down in the horizontal flow sedimentation tank. In the event any particles have bypassed the sedimentation process, rapid sand filters clear out everything in the water, which is then channeled to clear water tanks. The most important stage of water treatment is chlorination, which takes place while the water is being circulated to the clear water tanks. At this point, soda ash is also added to remove a weak sulfuric acid that causes acidity, produced during coagulation stage.
Then we do one of the most important treatment processes in water, and that is chlorination. At the chlorination point, we also add magadi soda or sodium carbonate. This will ensure that because of addition of aluminum sulfate, there was a production of a very weak sulfuric acid, which might cause acidity in our water. It is removed by use of magadi soda or soda ash.
After every 2 hours, water is tested to check the chlorine and pH levels as well as its turbidity.
And to ensure that the water is clear, and we keep testing it after every 2 hours. We check for chlorine, we have got the gauge, we test for pH, we test for turbidity.
The last stage is the distribution of water, which is done from 2 outlets, one at Tetu area that pumps water to high altitude areas and Kamakwa that distributes to low altitude areas. The plant produces about 20,000 meters cubed per day, which covers 95% of their service area. The company has also set up water ATMs, such as one in Wetemere, enabling the residents to access water at affordable prices. Wanjiro Maina, one of the program's beneficiaries, thanked Nyewasco for the ATMs, noting that it has changed their lives for the better, as they can now access water at a cheaper price.
Ni kitu affordable, hata ukiwa na pesa kidogo bado tuna afford kukuwa na maji. Then inasaidia wase wengi wa hapa juu, hata ukihustle 50 yako uko na maji ya kutumia for a long time.
The Superior Laboratory, located at Kamakwa Treatment Plant, is involved in checking and testing the quality of water through its 3 laboratories. According to the lab technician Rebecca Ndegwa, the microbio lab tests for bacteria that can harm humans. The chemistry lab tests for metals and non-metals in water. Lastly, the wastewater lab tests the water consumers are releasing in productions at Kangemi and Gatei water treatment plants to ascertain whether it is safe to release back to the rivers.
In the lab, we have some parameters that we carry on to test whether the water is safe for human consumption. Then in chemistry, we do some non-metal and metals. That is to test the chemicals that are in water. There is cargomic treatment and degatite treatment. In those production, there are some processes that happen, so you have to collect some sample there, and then you do the analysis to see whether the water is safe to release back to the river.
Nyewasco has invested in a superior eco-state sewer treatment plant at Kangemi, Nyeri Central Sub-County, considered one of the best in Africa, where she treats her wastewater. At the sewer plant, screening is done to separate water and large particles, followed by discarding, which separates water and sludge. The sludge is then transferred to the lagoon for 90 days, where it further separates from the water before being transferred to the drying beds for 2 to 3 weeks, then sold as manure to farmers. One of the plant managers, Zipporah Wangari, further explains that the separated water undergoes a biological cleaning process at the high rate and low rate tanks, whereby bacteria is killed using organic decomposition.
From there tunaenda purification, whereby we purify the water, of which the bacteria inakiliwa kwa high rate and the low rate. From there tunateremka kwa final humus, of which still we have to dislodge hiyo uchafu na maji.
Later, water goes through a testing phase through aquatic rearing, which determines the quality of water. The effluent is drained back to River Chania. The award-winning company is certified ISO 172.5/2005 series, and in the year 2019 transitioned to ISO 172.5/2017 series from the Kenya Accreditation Service (KENAS), the National Environmental Management Authority (NEMA), and ISO 9001/2015 certification by the Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Nyewasco prides in terms of certification related to the water sector. The first one was ISO 17025/205, which was achieved in 2011, or we achieved the accreditation through Kenya Accreditation Service, KENAS, in 2011. It was the first WSP in Kenya to achieve that. And recently, in 2019, we transitioned to ISO 17025/2017 series. Again, we are among the first entities to transition to that series. The second one is ISO 9001/2015, which we are equally certified. That is about certification through Kenya Bureau of Standards, and we have a valid license or certificate all the way to 2023.
Nyewasco holds an annual Environment Day where the fraternity plants both indigenous and exotic trees, an exercise aimed at conserving the environment and the water catchment areas. During this year's event, Nyewasco's fraternity, in collaboration with the Nyeri Youth and Kenya Forest Service, planted 10,000 tree seedlings at Kiganjo Siwa Pumping Station in honor of the late MD Peter Gichaaga, who was a committed conservationist and liked the saying, "Conserve the environment today, it will save you tomorrow."
This is an occasion which we do on an annual basis in conjunction with the other stakeholders. You have the Kenya Forest Service, we have the community, the county government, and also the Water Resource Users Association within the county.
In collaboration with the Water Sector Trust Fund, Nyewasco has also built 204 toilets for low-income families in Wetemere, Nyeri Town, through the upscaling basic sanitation for the urban poor UBSUP program. According to Christine Wangari, UBSUP has notably changed their lives by improving their cleanliness levels.
Za mbeleni juu zilikuwa za bau, ilikuwa inaleta inzi kwa nyumba. Lakini hizi juu ni za mawe na ni safi, hata sisi tunafurahia na pia mtoto mdogo hata yeye anaweza tumia.
Beatrice Mugore, another beneficiary, thanked Nyewasco for the program that has notably improved the hygiene levels of their households, adding that every plot received funds to build 2 toilets.
Watu wa Nyewasco walikuja na hii project ya kutujengea show na wakatujengea juu. Before tulikuwa na choo zingine zilikuwa zimeanguka, choo zingine zilikuwa zinanyesha, hazikuwa na mabati. So venye walikuja walitusaidia na choo na tukajengewa kila plot choo mbili.
While Winfred Nyarwai noted that it has reduced occurrences of diseases such as cholera and typhoid.
The hygiene has stopped to eradicate diseases like cholera, typhoid, and we hope that the Nyewasco will continue to upgrade these toilets to a higher level.
In this era of the COVID-19 pandemic, Nyewasco has engaged in a number of activities geared towards curbing the further spread of the virus, such as sensitizing its staff on COVID-19 protocols, provided masks and sanitizers, reduced the number of staff, and installed hand-washing points within its premises. In addition, the company has installed over 60 hand-washing points across the county, waived fees for low-income families at Wetemere, stopped the disconnection of water for customers with arrears, and supplied water storage tanks to institutions through the County Government of Nyeri. Nyewasco has proposed new tariffs which will see its consumers charged less for water and sewer services at the household level. In the next 5 years, the company also plans to partner with key stakeholders to create means of preserving water by investing in bulk water storage infrastructure for both Aberdares and Mount Kenya catchments. Further, the company is looking into investing in alternative energy sources such as biogas and solar to address the high energy cost incurred during the water treatment process, and foresees to extend sewerage services to Kiamwathi, Chaka Market, and neighboring areas, as well as extend water services by carrying out more in-house connections. Truly, Nyeri Water and Sanitation Company has lived true to its mission, which is to provide quality water, sewerage, and allied services at commercially and environmentally sustainable levels. This report has been compiled by the Nyeri Governor's Press Unit.